Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling, your other host.
Day 2, girl.
Here we are.
This is a fun one today.
It is a fun one.
Great guest.
We have a lot of great guests all week lined up. So
We really do.
We're really excited. For anyone who maybe didn't catch us yesterday, we're excited to bring you, kind of highlighting things around New England. We're branching out from just Rhode Island.
Right.
Although there will be a lot of Rhode Island
A lot of Rhode Island,
involved, but things from all over New England and just kind of things that we're loving and,
Right.
that we do together. So
Right.
we're
There's so
excited
many
to-
things that we love that we never really get to hone in on.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to do this
Yeah,
with you.
for sure. And one of the things that we love most is how involved we are in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many great local organizations that
Yeah.
are working so hard within our community. And one that you recently have had a lot of exposure with is the Glimmer of Hope.
Yeah, so the Glimmer of Hope Foundation, and we love Miss Rhode Island, Allie Horning. She's
Yes.
the founder of this one, and it just is one of those foundations, and especially having young children, it really hits home. What they do is they actually give support and love to really children who are experiencing going through cancer treatment, and it all started because her best friend had passed away from cancer, and all she wanted was an American Girl doll that was bald, that looked like her. And so Allie, who is just one of the, she's like an angel on earth for these little children who are just going through such a tough time in their lives and their families too.
Yeah.
And so Allie has made it her mission where she has worked with American Girl doll. She gifts these beautiful bald dolls to these children. And not only that, she goes to the hospital, she visits them, she gives them these unbelievable experiences of photo shoots and just days out. And I've talked to the families, they said she doesn't have to do this. She wants to do this, Allie. And so she did this amazing Glimmer Gala. It was the second one that they just did this past Saturday night, May 3rd.
Yeah.
And
you took part, right?
Yeah, and I loved being part of it. So I was paired up with a little girl. Her name was Emerson Ford, and
Yeah.
she's 11 years old.
Is this
and there's
Emerson?
Emerson loves to, I get this now having an 11-year-old. They love to stick their tongue out.
Yeah, make
and do silly things in the
faces. Yeah.
photos. So I said,
Look at
okay,
your
fine.
silly face.
I'm going to do a silly face with you. But this was who I got matched with, and we tried to get dresses that matched each other. And essentially the Glimmer Gala, she had about 40 survivors, childhood survivors, that are walking down the runway, and they've paired them with just a local person who's maybe in the community, owns a business,
Yeah.
on TV. And it just was one of those experiences. I got to go shopping, or there we are actually on the runway together. So you walk out. The room was filled with family and friends and just supporters of obviously the foundation. But I have to say, Ashley, it really just hit home. And I was, telling you,
Yeah.
and I'm sharing this, I don't think I'm giving too much, but I was chatting with another mother, and I saw they had these beautiful gift bags for all the children that were there. And I happened to see one of the moms. She came over and they had all the kids' names on it. I said, oh, they put together a beautiful gift bag for the children. And she grabbed the bag, she looked inside, she said, they really did. And then she stopped and she looked at me and she's like, it just is just tough that I have to give my daughter the gift bag because of the reason we're here. And it really kind of put everything into perspective for me, is that these kids love this evening of having fun and dressing up. But for the families, you can't forget all that they've gone through with their child.
Right. It's an amazing night, but there's so much that is going on that, we're not thinking about on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Because we are so blessed and don't have to, but many families don't have that luxury at this time in their lives. So I think that this foundation, we just really wanted to, make sure that it's getting exposure because it's, again, hyper local. You're seeing it really in our community and what it's doing on, just a boots on the ground kind of level.
It really is.
And it's incredible to see. And, kudos to Allie. We met her actually a couple of years ago because she was nominated for our
That's
Remarkable
right. She was a
Women
Remarkable
contest.
Woman. Yes.
For Nexstar, our parent company, and we were like, wow, she really is remarkable what she's doing. She's so young.
She's 25.
And she's doing so much. So, great job by her. And I know that she'll continue to do that. And, just nice to share the nice things going on in our community and a wonderful organization.
Yeah, no, and absolutely. And next year, they've already asked if you would be part of it. So we'll do it together. But I love that Allie is giving these kids and these families just a night of a lot of fun and fun style and just relaxation. And talking about style.
Yeah, we have much more coming up today on Spotlight New England because the Met Gala was Monday night. In case you missed it, we're going to talk about that and more fashion right after the break. Well, after Monday night's Met Gala, we are in the mood to talk fashion, and so is today's guest. Julie Matos is a stylist who's worked with many celebrities, TV shows, magazines, pretty much everything you can think of. And she now joins us here today on Spotlight New England. And Julie, we are so excited to have you because we are just fashion lovers and we know that we are going to be able to just dig into some fashion with you, but we want to know more about your career, and we're going to get into that in a moment. But we have to talk about the Met Gala first and foremost. It's on everybody's mind this week. Let's start with what the theme was this year, because for people who don't know how the Met Gala works, there's a different theme every year. Tell us more about this year's theme.
So this theme is really unique, and it was talking about superfine tailoring. Really goes back to the 1700s of the history of Black fashion, really, when it comes down to it, and dandyism, and sort of really how really slaves back in the day would have to sort of present themselves, and they called them these luxury slaves, and they would be dressed in this like amazing wardrobe. And so it's really about the tailoring, the style, this dandyism to really sort of their creativity. It really started like London and New York and really the art community. So every year Anna Wintour and the Costume Institute really pick a really amazing theme. And I think this is such a node to Audrey who, you know, is passed away now, but he was just a true force. And I think now it's just really, you know, embracing the history of Black fashion and designers, and I think it's really special and really unique. So
it was a good theme. It had a lot of meaning behind it. There's not always a lot of meaning behind the themes as far as
it's fashion.
Yeah, like I remember the year that it was camp, which was so fun. But you know, this really had like a deeper layer to it, and we saw a lot of tailoring. Was really menswear and tailoring was the kind of big thing that came out of it last night. Would you agree?
100%. I mean, menswear obviously is such a huge inspiration through fashion, and I think it's really nice to kind of see how the men, I think, really were really the show where it's usually the women, right? Yeah. So I think it was great how the women embraced that. I mean, I'm wearing a suit now, and a tuxedo. So for me, it's like I love a dress, but I'm like, oh, you know, this is really fun and unique and different for me, and I feel like I wanted to come with the dandyism in the whole theme. I love a good theme, especially with fashion. So I thought everyone was really on point, because sometimes there's a lot of misses when it comes, because listen, not everybody wants, it's very like theatrical, but that's the whole point. Again, it's like the Super Bowl. It is the Oscars of fashion. This is
this is it.
Everybody is looking forward to. So I feel like it was really perfect in the tailoring and spot on and bringing that sort of like peacock vibe. And it's all about the color and texture. I mean, I could talk about that for days, but I think that was great that everyone sort of really worked with that. There was a couple misses, but I think sometimes not everybody wants to be theatrical. Like it's a costume, which is fine.
At the end of the day, it is a costume.
This is the Costume Institute.
Like Anne Hathaway, for example. I loved her look, but it was kind of simple. So people kind of thought that was a miss because she just was wearing a beautiful Carolina Herrera tailored white shirt, you know, menswear, and a beautiful skirt, which I love. I'm like, I would wear that. I would wear that, but that's not the point of the Met Gala.
I think it's like I said, I always love a theme, but I also think it's really sort of it's about your creativity. And I think a lot of red carpet nowadays, or that was a blue carpet, is that it's about to show and have fun and creativity, especially as someone who is an artist and a stylist. Like, I want to go wild.
You want to go wild.
Right? But not everybody does that. Everyone has a unique style and their personality and comfort level. So, you know, it's really how you feel and confidence, and how, you know, she wanted to wear that, and that's
what she wanted to wear.
And it's comfortable and still chic and still beautiful, right?
Yeah, it was great.
So like when you, because we talked about the Met Gala, and I love that you said that it really is, it's like the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day too, you're dressing celebrities, you're dressing like the everyday woman. Maybe it's going to be for a special occasion, maybe it's for work. So as a stylist, how do you take really like, I guess, trends that are happening? And are you someone that, do you follow trends? I guess as a stylist, do you really look at them and say, okay, listen, these are all the trends right now of like spring 2025. So all of my clients have to fit in these boxes.
Yeah, I don't really follow trends like that for people. I love following trends because I think I have to be informed.
Yeah.
I need to know what's going on. But I think trends, like, I would not, like, if I'm working with a real person, for instance, or, you know, anybody in general, I feel like it's really important to have like your capsule collection, your basics, your staples that you can have for seasons on season, and then take your trend pieces and bring them in, because I think what the trend is not going to last very long.
Yeah.
It will come back probably. It always is every couple years.
Cyclical.
It's like animal print. It comes in
Yeah.
over and over.
It's never
like,
out. It's never out.
No, but I know. Well, I think it's a classic now. It's
Yes.
become a classic. But
Timeless.
again, like, their flowers right now are really, you know,
Yes.
again, another classic, but also it's depending on the print, the style.
The style
the
changes.
shape, the
Yes.
color. So I think it's I always try to get people to like get those basics and capsule, and maybe there's a uniqueness to those pieces.
Yeah.
But I think not always trends. For me, it's I'm styling for an editorial.
Right, right.
I love trends, and
Yeah.
there's some things I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. Like, I love a big shoulder. I love a shoulder pad. I am like that 90s girl. I will do it.
Working
It
girl.
just looks good.
girl.
I don't care
It just looks
if it's
good.
not in style.
Right.
I'm still gonna wear it.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, I don't like that, even though. But I'm always like, if someone's asked me what the trends, here are the trends.
Right.
I think you'd be great on a certain trend.
Right.
But I think it's depending on each client. Everybody has a different. No one's gonna always dress like me.
Yeah, yeah.
No one's gonna. I'm not gonna dress like them. I want to take your personality and sort of just elevate it, right? So, and just take you, maybe have you try things that are out of your comfort zone, and to say you can wear that.
Yeah.
You can wear the Lupita like in Chanel.
Yeah.
100%. You might just have to have it tailored. She's taller.
Yeah.
Right. We're both the same petite size.
Right.
But you just maybe need more of a cropped pant or
Right.
something a little bit more narrow. And it's about proportions.
And fashion really is. I mean, it's an emotional thing. It's
Oh,
more than just like
100%.
putting on a sweater and skirt.
Yeah.
It's an emotional response to really like how you kind of are bringing yourself and showcasing yourself to the world.
Yeah. No, and I think for me, this is my armor. I feel
I love that.
amazing. Like, if I'm kind of like running around as a mom, like, I still want to look cute.
Yeah.
I still
Yes.
don't want to be schleppy. Like, if I want to wear sweats, I'll throw like a blazer over it and really maybe throw a red lip. And honestly, it just makes me feel so much better. I can do, I can go over the world. When I was just, listen, like, after being doing this, you're exhausted. And I'm like, oh gosh, I do not want to see anybody. I look awful. But like when I am listen, I can't do this. Hair and makeup is a friend of mine. I cannot do this. Right?
Yeah.
But when I do it and then I have my whole look together,
That's it.
I just feel like I can do anything. And I think that's my biggest thing is for, like, I've done celebrities, I've done all these different, shoots, but I just want, like, I love making people feel good and having that confidence. And I think that is so important. And I think more like being over 40, like having that sort of like, you know what, we're amazing. We are like living life right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I don't think there's any rules in fashion. I think do what you feel comfortable, and like I think it's just a confidence builder.
Yeah.
And I do really think it sort of is just so much fun. Have fun with it, right?
Yeah. Fashion is supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be fun.
But you really have a gift. I want to hear more about your process because, for example, my dress, which you can't see the full dress because obviously
So
we're just
cute.
showing
Love
from
it.
here up.
I know.
So Julie picked this out for me, like sight unseen of what anything I would, she didn't ask what I wanted. She just sent it, thought I would like it. And absolutely nailed my style in one dress. You can't see it has like the
Completely.
beautiful
Thank you.
ruching. It's like a nice shape, but it's like comfortable and easy. And of course, we
She
all
lit
know
up too.
Oh,
I
good.
love an
'Cause
animal
I was like,
print.
tell me
She
the
lit up
truth.
when I
I don't
walked
want you to
into that
I
sugarcoat
couldn't
it.
wait
I'm
to
all like,
wear it. I
tell
couldn't
me.
wait
Lit
to
up
wear
like
it.
a
So I was
Christmas
so
tree.
excited to see you today and
I
wear
know,
the
it's, like,
dress so you could
perfect.
see it. But I don't know how it is so my style. I don't know how you just tapped into that. What is your process when you're working with clients, and is it just innate in you that you're kind of like
Yeah,
this?
I guess so.
You would like that. That would look so good on you. You're gonna wear it and you're gonna love it. Like, what is that?
I think it's from doing it for 20 years. I
Yeah.
think it's just like it's something I do feel like you either have it or don't have it, right? I think you can learn it and you can learn it really well, but I think it's like, I think learning all the time, like I worked with Pantone, like defining colors on people, like what would look great on you, even for, and having to do these mood boards for runway, for fashion shoots, or even my celebrity clients. I started doing it more editorial brain, where I would sort of like, okay, if someone was going to the Met Gala, I'd be like, okay, here's your look. Here's what I suggest hair and makeup, because you don't want to step on toes for hair and makeup people. but like this is what I suggest for hair and makeup, and I'd put like some inspiration and then down to the nail polish, because I worked with some photographers who were like, back in the day, were like, I'd have a 40-page PDF and I need to have every single piece on there.
Wow.
And I think that's just my mindset.
Yeah.
So like seeing body, like I see your body shape pretty much the first time, or even I've had virtual clients. I've never even met them in person.
Well, I believe that now based on
and
this.
I just do, like, I send it to them and I kind of look like, okay, what are you trying to get across? Like, what do you like, what you don't like? Because we always like, I don't like my arms, I don't like this, I don't like that. And so again, it's like that confidence building, bringing, you know, the clothing to life in you. And so I think that I'm always like, oh, she would look great in this, or she would look, and I think I'm just doing it all the time. Like, I'll see people's tags, I'm like, I gotta fix that tag. And like, I'll be on the subway.
She's a real friend.
I'm like on the subway. I'm like, oh, I can't touch people. Especially like COVID. I'm like,
I can't do this.
So I think it's just doing it for so long and learning the process. Like, I'm always trying to like make sure I am up to date on trends, what's going on the runways, what's going on in real life. Like, you know, at becoming a mom, like, I cannot wear this Comme des Garçons jacket. My daughter's like, oh, that's beautiful, but like, I'm gonna get food all over it, you know? But it's like, so I'll, you know, sometimes we'll do our really fun or cool stuff, but like, I still want to have me come out and like, you know, and I'm in the burbs and I'm like, pick up, and everyone's like, what is she wearing?
I love that though. I
Who
love
cares?
that.
Like,
Yeah.
I know. I did a interview one time with Joanna Coles, who used to be editor-in-chief at Marie Claire, and we were going to do a reality TV show, and she asked me, and this stuck with me. She goes, what do you wear in the garden when you're gardening? And I was like, this is a trick question.
Yes, I know.
Probably like sweats or like
cutoffs.
So she's like, well, I wear, anytime I go to a sample sale, I'll get a Zach Posen gown, and I will wear that gown and I believe it. And so I was like, you know what? I want the mentality. I don't really wear maybe nice sweat. I don't really wear sweats out. Like, I just don't. And that was even Yolanda. I don't know if you guys remember Yolanda from back in the day. She had like an amazing, she came to our school and she had an amazing like bridal store, I believe, in Massachusetts. Yolanda. I remember being like,
there.
I did. Yeah, she's amazing. She's still amazing. And I remember her, another one was like, you don't be walking out, the ladies walking out, like, get dressed.
Wow.
You know, she was an OG influencer, and like,
before influencer was a thing.
You picked up on it.
So I think that's just in my head, like, for sure.
Where did you start? When did you decide this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Well, I had no idea what I wanted to do. My mom, I used to illustrate as a kid. I used to like draw little, like, I had a friend who was into it, so I was like, oh, I want to do that, and it was super fun. Up my sister and do plays and like do hair and makeup. I thought I was like, maybe I should have been a director, because I was so bossy. And I was like, oh, let's do hair and makeup, and I make these clothes. And, and so I went to school in Florida for like a year. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and my mom was like, why don't you go to fashion school? So we went to the same school. She was studying physical therapy, and so she'd bunker with me. I was like, this is so embarrassing.
Oh, I love it though.
But we graduated the same time, so it was really fun. So she was a huge inspiration. She's like, I think you should just go in fashion, because I always really I love thrifting. I was a TJ Maxx, Easter Girl, Marshalls, like, you know, I love a good find. So for me, and like thrifting and doing all that. So I just sort of, I think my mom would, you know, match her sweatshirt with socks. She was not fashionable, but she really guided me in that direction. So I sort of just fell into it. And then I worked at Filene's in the corporate office and started working with Vogue and all these magazines. I was like, I want to work for a magazine, and sort of like started interviewing for all these different positions. And I had a lot of great these market editors that would sort of be like, oh, I think you'd be great, and they would help me. Like, I'd have really even some of my colleagues, I'd be like, I really want to go to New York. Like, I had no idea. I had no fashion background. I just fell into it. I went to fashion school, but I just volunteered for every possible thing.
Until you learned everything you needed to learn.
Yeah. And it was great. And it's like, now it's like I have 3 cities back in Mass and like the New England area. And it's like, how can I just put my footprint? Because if you look back, like New England Historical Society, which is amazing, Michelle Finnemore, who was at the MFA, they have like 1.5 million archives of clothing and women that bought stuff from New England area, from like Paris couture, all this stuff, and it was gorgeous and amazing. So it's like, it's here. It's just like trying to pull it back out.
She's the person to
so I'm
pull it
hoping.
out.
I'm hoping to do it and just like have fun. I just think I've been exposed to it now. I want to teach other people that. So.
Well, Julie, we've loved having you on. We could talk fashion
for an hour.
Me too.
We're so excited to have you. And your handle for everyone to follow you?
Julie Matos Style.
Julie Matos Style. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks
it was so much fun. We can't wait to have you back and just dive in even more.
I know.
So much to talk about. But we have more coming up today on Spotlight New England, so stay with us.
Welcome back to Spotlight New England. So we thought we'd have a little bit of fun. So Ashley and I, we've been friends for honestly over a decade now.
I actually was thinking about that. I think it's probably been like 15
It's been longer than a decade.
Years,
yes,
maybe?
yes.
I don't even know exactly.
Easily. I think it goes back to like 2008 or 2009.
Yeah.
So clearly I can't do math quickly.
No,
that's a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long time. Yeah. We've known each other a long time. And since the show is still new and, you guys are getting to know us, you thought it'd be fun to do some questions.
You know I love a good little challenge.
You do.
Questions, right? I'm always thinking like, hey, listen, we're on a game show together.
Yeah.
And someone asks you a question
You've actually said
about you.
that to me
I need to know the answer ahead of time.
I know. I'm like, am I going to fail?
No, you're not going to fail. Okay. So I just have like 3 just like fun questions that I thought we could ask each other. If you have a friend out there, see if you know the answers to these questions. So the first one, it's pretty simple. Well, I think
we wrote down our own answers just so we knew that
here.
Like we weren't lying.
Right.
But
this is what so if we're both shoppers, I thought this was appropriate. So if there was one store we could both drop $1,000 in without blinking an eye. What do you think it would be for me?
So I actually had trouble with thinking about what I would say for you and for myself, because I was like, is it aspirational or is it everyday? So I went with more of like an everyday answer.
Okay.
I'm going to say for you, like Target.
I was going to say Target. I swear to God.
Because, you can go shopping there for your whole family.
Yes.
You can get anything that's, whether it's fashion or it's even like,
Me.
groceries or like the makeup, because there's so much makeup there.
Victoria needs her
restocks. And now they've like even incorporated Ulta there. They do different drops with brands.
She's selling it. You are selling it hard.
For you, I thought Target. Is that correct?
That was 100% correct.
That is correct.
That was correct.
Okay.
Now for you, and I thought the same thing, because I know that you could go to like a higher
one
end
and then
store.
I changed it.
I originally was going to say Saks Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
And I crossed it out and I put TJ Maxx.
Yep, TJ Maxx is what I said.
Is that who you had?
TJ Maxx is what I said. But originally I put down Anthropologie.
Okay.
Because I just was like, I could buy so many different clothes there. But actually, I was like, no, it would be TJ Maxx. You go to TJ Maxx.
You could actually get an entire wardrobe.
And you can buy a million different things. Oh my gosh, we only
have a little
bit of time left. Let's do one more.
Okay, what are the names of my children?
Okay.
In order.
You didn't say that before, but I think I know it. William, Alex, Benjamin, Henry, Victoria.
You nailed it. Okay, so these are the names of your kids.
Yep.
Okay, so Gracie.
Yep.
Michael.
Yep.
Mia.
Yep.
See, and I sometimes I mix up Mia and Gracie.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Okay, I got it.
In the order.
We have time for one more question?
Did we? Yeah. What was the last one? I don't remember.
Okay, how did I meet my husband?
Oh, at college, you went to Brown together.
She knows me.
Yeah.
And then you met Josh through your friend Shayna.
Yeah. Yep. We met through our best friends who are also now engaged.
That's
and
right.
Getting married, and we're engaged and getting married too.
We did.
That's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us again on Spotlight New England, and we will see you tomorrow.